In the last lecture, I was explained about conditionals and loops. In this lecture, I will learn about strings, booleans, and statements. JavaScript string. The string object lets you work with a series of characters. It wraps JavaScript's string primitive data type with a number of helper methods. Let's see the simple example of creating literal string. Let's see the list of JavaScript string methods. A string is a data type used in programming, such as an integer and floating point unit, but is used to represent text rather than numbers. It is comprised of a set of characters that can also contain spaces and numbers. See the example of JavaScript string to uppercase method. JavaScript string slice method. The JavaScript string slice method returns the parts of a string from given begin index and end index. In slice method, begin index is exclusive and end index is exclusive. JavaScript Boolean. The Boolean object represents two values, either true or false. If value parameter is omitted or is 0, -0, null, false, none, undefined, or the empty string, the object has an initial value or false. Boolean values. Very often in programming, you will need a data type that can only have one of two values, like yes or no, on or off, true or false. The Boolean function. You can use the Boolean function to find out if an expression is true. JavaScript statements. All the JavaScript code that you will write will, for the most part, be comprised of many separate statements. A statement can set a variable equal to a value. A statement can also be a function called document. Statements define what the script will do and how it will be done. Typical ending of a statement. In typical programming languages like C and PHP, the end of a statement is marked with a semicolon. But we have seen that the semicolon is optional in JavaScript. In JavaScript, the end of a statement is most often marked by pressing return and starting a new line. Semicolons separate JavaScript statements. These distinct groups of statements include conditional statements, loop statements, object manipulation statements, comment statements, exception handling statements, JavaScript white space. JavaScript ignores multiple spaces. You can add white space to your script to make it more readable. See the code. JavaScript line length and line breaks. For best readability, programmers often like to avoid code lines longer than 80 characters. If a JavaScript statement does not fit on one line, the best place to break it is after an operator. That's all for my lecture. Thanks for watching.